Hey guys, I'm Red, and this is LEGO Star Wars set number 75391, released in 2024 for $13.99 pieces with one Captain Rex minifigure. This is Star Wars The Clone Wars, Captain Rex's Y-Wing, MicroFighter, and I don't have the original box, so a picture of it will be in the top left, and yeah, let's just get right into it. Minifigure number 1 is Captain Rex, and definitely a Captain Rex minifigure. There is a lot of controversy surrounding this figure, but we're not going to talk about any of that because it's long and boring and you guys don't want to hear that. But anyway, he does come with 2 of these beautiful blaster pieces. We get these a lot with ARC Troopers and, you know, different clones, but I always like getting these. I think they're really cool. Now, the figure itself, I think, is actually really, really nice. Starting off with the helmet here. Of course, it is classic Captain Rex helmet, so it is blue and a little bit of light blue there for the, you can see the weld line there. And, like, there's just little details around, like, his markings for how many droids he's killed and, you know, different things. I don't really like this, where the rangefinder is there, how the helmet hole, but yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of that, but whatever, I guess. It's how LEGO Star Wars is now. Moving on to the torso. That is kind of just like basic clone armor with very slight blue detailing on the left and right there. You can see his massive ammo pouch on the chest is huge for some reason. And of course, underneath the head there is the modified clone trooper face with the inhibitor chip that's been taken out in his forehead. You can see he's a little upset because all of his brothers just turned on him and, you know, Order 66 and everything. So, pretty cool. But he does have printed arms, which are always cool to get. Like, this one has, like, maybe some rockets on his arm there with the blue line going down the middle there. And then this one has just more markings for droids. And, of course, over his shoulder is this cloth shoulder pauldron, which is really big, but, you know, I kind of like it. I'm not going to complain about that. I always like getting cloth stuff. Moving on to the back is just kind of basic clone back detailing, I guess. Nothing too special going on here. And on the legs, you can see where a cloth accessory would go on the left and right there. You can see the black with the blue outline. And you can see he does have printing on his knees, maybe like knee pads or something. He does have slightly printed toes. So overall, I think this is a pretty good figure. Just some little details like on the helmet there and his huge ammo pouch. But other than that, I think the figure's pretty cool. I like it. And that's just about all I have to say about Captain Rex. But obviously, he was in the $500 Venator. And I kind of get why everybody's upset about that. But overall, I think it's pretty cool. And finally, here is the set itself. Captain Rex's Y-Wing. Of course, this is a MicroFighter, so there's not really much going on here. But I guess we should start at the front here. At the front here are 2 flick-fire missiles using a couple hollow studs and snout bricks to hold those in place, facing forward like that. And there are 2 stud shooters on the side, which kind of gives it the illusion that the flick-fire missiles are firing the missiles. It's pretty cool. Also on the left and right here are some slopey pieces to give it a little more detail and curve it out just a little bit. You get the 1x1 cheese slopes and these 1x3 pieces, which are always cool to get. Also in the middle here is it's kind of a cockpit, I guess, using 1x1 cheese slopes as windows and the super basic printed tile there, which we get all the time. And of course, Captain Rex can fit inside and fly around in his Y-Wing. Moving on to the back here, you can see this 1x3 plate on these jumper plates. And that 1x1 kind of half circle tile is where a astromech droid would usually be, but obviously they can't fit it in with the scale. You get a couple of blue lines here just to give it a little more detail right along the engines. And the engines are super simple. You get 2 of these Technic bricks and 2 of these, like, I don't know exactly what they're called, but they're always pretty cool to get. And you do get 4 of them in the set, so that's pretty cool. And of course, on the back here are 2 thrusters in that trans pink color, which I always like getting, so I'm not going to complain about that. And the bottom doesn't have any like anti-slopes or anything, so in order to take off you have to scrape it against the ground. But I will admit though, this set is pretty fun to like fly around and shoot everything. Like, this is pretty cool. I like it. I wish it was a bigger playset, but still, I'm not going to complain. This is a MicroFighter. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about this set. Obviously just at $13 you do buy it just for the minifigure. I mean, I don't know. At just $13, there's not much going on here except for the Captain Rex minifigure, obviously. But I always like getting MicroFighters. I think they're super underrated, and I always like them. You know, like the AT-AT and the TIE Fighters and the Millennium Falcons. Those are always cool. I always like them. But most importantly, what do you guys think about this MicroFighter? Why don't you leave me a comment down below and let me know. And right down there, hit like, subscribe. It's easy. It's free. And I don't know what our next series is going to be yet, but it'll be something just as cool as this.